Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Hopefully, everyone is having a great day as always. In today's video, we are going to look at this penny right here. And what's special about this one is I'm going to zoom in for you, and we'll get a better focus when we get more into the details of it. But check out at the bottom of the coin, at the bottom of the wheat ears right here, we see the designer's initials, which are VDB. So the 1909 VDB cent is one of the most interesting stories out there that has to do with the Lincoln cent. So the designer's initials were initially at the bottom of the coin, and then there was some controversy and they were removed. So the 1909 VDBS is actually the most rare of the entire Lincoln cent series. Before we get into the details of that coin, I want to give a quick shout out to another cool coin collecting channel out there, which is known as Treasure Town. So Treasure Town is the channel that's run by Christian. Now Christian does videos about coin collecting every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now I've got a Kennedy half dollar right here to show you. That's because one of his most popular recent videos is about the 1964 Kennedy half dollar. Now, the 1964 Kennedy half dollar actually featured some very special, rare error coins out there, which were made as prototypes for the special mint sets, which were going to be made in 65, 66, and 67. So the 1964 special mint set proof special mint set prototype coin, there are only about 20 to 40 or so of those known to exist. So he does a much better job explaining it than I do. He gets into a lot of the cool details. So check out his channel. He's been on YouTube for about a year, and so far he has 8,000 subscribers, which is great. As you guys know who have done YouTube and made videos before, it takes about a year before you get a lot of traction, before you start to really get any traction at all. So considering the fact that he's got 8,000 subscribers so far, he's doing well. His channel is about to take off. So check out a link to his channel in the description, as well as a link to that video about the 1964 prototype Kennedy half dollar. All right, now on to today's video. This one right here. I'm going to zoom in right here. Now, some of the things we need to talk about before we flip it over to the reverse side of the coin is that check out the coloring of it. So this would get that red designation. So the Lincoln penny can come in 3 different grades of coloring. It can have the brown, which is less than 5% of the original red color. It can have the red brown, which is 5 to 95% red surfaces, or it can have the red designation. So the red designation would be 95 or greater of the original red coloring to it, and that will really increase the value of the coin. The second thing that you should look for right here is the mint mark on these coins. Now, particularly with the 1909 VDB cent, because as far as the production amounts go, this one right here, which comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't have a mint mark on it, there are 72 million that were made at the Philadelphia Mint. There are 27 million that were made at the Philadelphia Mint for the 1909 VDB. However, for the 1909 SVDB, there are only 484,000. So we go from 27 million down to 484,000 when we're comparing the VDB to VDB Philadelphia to VDB San Francisco pennies. Now, the San Francisco VDB is the rarest of the entire Lincoln cent series, so that's why a lot of people talk about the 1909 SVDB cent. Now, the 1909 was quite an interesting year for coins before we even got into the controversy regarding the designer's initials, because 1909 featured the last year the Indian head cent was made, so it had a nice 50-year run to it, and they decided to transition out of it in the year 1909, when, of course, from 1859 up until 1909. The last year production for the Indian head cent featured 14 million made at the Philadelphia and 309,000 made at the San Francisco. Then the next year we have some VDB cents, which we already mentioned, 27 million at the Philadelphia, 484 at the San Francisco, and then we had regular no initial 1909 pennies made as well. That featured 72 million at the Philadelphia, and then 1.8 million at the San Francisco. So the key takeaway there is that there are 6 different types of Lincoln pennies that will have the year, 6 different types of pennies that will have the year 1909 on them. Now, of course, the difference with this one right here between some of the other ones is the designer's initials at the bottom. Now, the reason why they decided to remove the designer's initials from the bottom is because they thought that he was getting illegal promotion and kind of publication for using his initials right here at the bottom. Now, originally when he designed it, he actually had his entire last name at the bottom right here, and then one of the artists decided to change that and remove his last name, and modify it to just be his initials. And then he did just the initials, and then there was a public outcry. People hated it. They thought it wasn't very discreet, so they decided to get rid of his initials altogether. And that's why the Lincoln pennies going forward no longer have the VDB initials on them. So the 1909S has much lower mintages than all the others. It actually ranks 14th according to a list, the top 100 greatest coins by Jeff Garrett and Ron Gruth. So number 14 in the top 100 greatest U.S. coins is the 1909 VDB cent. Now, of course, you might be wondering the price associated with these, and the price is quite hefty, as you would imagine. So PCGS has graded just 15 of them at a mint state 67 for the 1909 S VDB cent in red coloring, and those have a price guide of $79,000 to them. Now, the most recent sale occurred in February of 2017 of a mint state 67 red, and that sold for $61,000. So maybe the price has softened a little bit, but these are still a very valuable coin. Now, PCGS also has often a rarity and survival estimate, and they've got this one right here for the 1909 S VDB cent, and they estimate that only 3,000 of them have survived at a mint state 65 or better, and only 5,000 of them have survived in all grades. So if you come across a 1909 VDB, be sure you check for the mint mark on it. The San Francisco will be worth a lot of money. The 1909 Philadelphia will only be worth around $5 or so. So if you want to add a 1909 VDB, you can easily do that to your collection for less than $10 by just shopping on eBay or maybe at your local coin shop, and you can pick one up like I've got right here. All right, everyone, that's all I've got for today's video. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, you'd probably like Treasure Town as well. Maybe you're tired of watching my content and you want to get someone else's take on coin collecting. Go over to the channel Treasure Town. He's got new videos on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. A link to his channel will be in the description, as well as a link to that 1964 prototype coin video. Please do check it out, everyone. Thank you very much, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy.